All right, WWE Championship. We just started talking about this before I could hit recording. So, all right, continue what you were gonna say. This is
Well, I'm
started off
saying
right with
with
that.
the current incarnation of Cena versus Punk, because I know Brandon was saying that the feud between Punk and Cena previously would not be sort of like a match of the year candidate compared to the previous feud that you were saying about. Now, that's fine and dandy, but the what makes Punk so good is the fact that he can transition, and it was a very slow transition from face to tweener and then to heel. And the great thing about Punk is that he makes it so convincing.
Yeah, because he's so versatile.
Yeah,
He can
and
work
that
as a face, he can work as a heel, he can work as a tweener. He knows how to play a crowd better than probably the entire roster. I mean, the
Right.
man
yeah,
knows what he's doing.
Certainly
'cause
better than the Sheamus and
But
Del
but
Rio.
the reason why
yeah,
this feud between Cena and Punk is a lot more interesting than the last time they feuded was it's more about them and the championship. Last time Cena was just kind of like the corporate pawn in the way. Punk had a problem with him because he was a product of the company and he had a problem with the company. It was more
but it's
about
also
him
Cena was in the way of
versus
the company.
yeah, like he's the face of the company. I hate this company. I'm going to
but
beat
it's
you
also
to take its
there was an
title.
issue where they cut Punk's legs off before he built steam because he was just building up. He would have been the number one babyface in the company, I believe, if they didn't cut his legs off right before he could actually have some momentum.
The
Because
win
they'll,
at Money in the Bank, he
yeah,
could have pushed him to mega star status.
yeah,
He had that kind of heat. He was on fire. And
and
then they weren't interested. They weren't
yeah, they
interested in
literally
pushing him past
re-signed
Cena.
him. They re-signed him, and literally had Rio put over Punk, and
And they put the
without
muzzle on
yeah,
or the
and
chain or the leash.
they literally cut him off. He didn't speak as much as he was supposed to. He wasn't as versatile as he should have been, and they kind of buried him beneath Cena.
Kind of
But
similar to what they did with the Laurinaitis feud, where that could have caught on with CM Punk, and then they
yeah,
decided let's make it a Triple H thing and let's make it a John Cena thing and pass the bar to John Cena instead. Try to give John Cena more steam. Meanwhile, CM Punk is left to try to figure out something else on his own. We'll give him a couple
yeah,
matches with Tensai instead.
Well, and he had that feud with Bryan too for the title, which I thought was a very good title feud.
Yeah, they
but they
saved
weren't
Before
themselves.
this one, you
but
know,
they weren't being very focused on it. And the thing is as well, they were even considering dropping the title from Punk to Bryan, which would have been a cool thing at the point. But I think Punk would have lost a lot of steam if they did that.
he
Yeah,
would
Now,
have, but could you imagine Bryan as hot as he was in May winning the WWE Championship? Could you imagine what that could have done for him?
it would have propelled him to new heights, but it also would have sacrificed Punk's
Yeah,
um,
which
top spot.
yeah, he
and
would
we
have lost
wouldn't
the
be
title.
getting Team Friendship right now.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
thing is with
true.
Brian, I believe, will be WWE champion at some point.
No,
Maybe
he
not
will.
now, but soon. And
He'll
Um,
be a babyface champion at some
yeah,
yeah,
point.
he'll turn face before he wins a world title again for sure.
yeah,
And I don't know. I would say he's maybe somebody to look for in the Royal Rumble
yeah.
in terms of winning it. I don't
Yeah,
know if that's going too far, but
no,
uh,
that's definitely a possibility.
he's one of my front runners right now for somebody to win the Royal Rumble.
Challenge for the World Heavyweight
Yeah,
Championship.
yeah, or even well, yeah. Oh, no, it's gonna be
I
Cena
could
Rock too.
see
Who am I
him.
kidding?
No, but I
Anyway,
could see him as the number one baby face on SmackDown or the number three baby face on Raw.
which that's not bad at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah,
Yeah, for a
Now,
standing.
the
Um,
thing is, with this whole situation though, with Cena and Punk, what makes it so good as well, they've added that little catalyst in the middle of it, which is Heyman.
oh, I love Heyman.
Oh,
I'm
he
a Paul Heyman
is.
guy.
I'm a Paul Heyman guy.
I'm a
The
Paul
thing
Heyman
about
guy.
Heyman that makes him so great, and this is for a little bit of a schooling session for most of you guys out there
That he
who have
says Brock
only
Lesnar
seen
that way.
Heyman's current work. Heyman has been managing since his time in WCW. He managed a core group called the Dangerous Alliance, and he talked for guys like Steve Austin. He talked for guys like Rick Rude, Brian Pillman. This is how amazing Paul Heyman was before getting fired and then moving on to ECW. He was one of the main catalysts around ECW. And again, like Punk, Heyman has a mind for the business. He knows what works. He has his current finger on the pulse.
Yeah, he's a
Heyman,
creative genius
yeah, and he
in a
can.
sense.
He's a bullshitter, but he is a creative genius, and he's one of those guys that can change with the times. He's
Hmm.
like Vince, but he's unafraid of
Trying
seeing
something
everyone else.
new and
Yeah,
possibly
Well,
failing.
actually, he's kind of the opposite of Vince. Like Vince knows how to market and he knows how to like expand his product
but the thing
far
is,
beyond
Heyman,
anything. But Vince
Heyman
isn't really
did.
that creative.
The thing
I
is, Heyman
mean,
did right, but Heyman was bad with money. Vince wasn't.
yes. Yeah, Vince has never been bad with money
There
ever.
we go.
And
Now,
I don't think
Well,
like
WWE films.
yeah,
well, yeah,
okay, yeah,
fuck that has nothing to
XFL.
do with wrestling other than wrestlers starring in movies, but Heyman I think he just knows how wrestling angles are supposed to go and knows what to do creatively better than Vince does. I think Vince is out of touch,
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, and
I would say
Heyman
this.
has kind of always been with the times, so to speak.
I would dare say this that Heyman, apart from Punk, Heyman is the only other guy in the WWE who knows how to create stars. That's my
Yes.
opinion.
Yes.
Now,
Now,
we
I don't know, maybe because there might be a couple people that we might never have the ability to give the credit to. There could be like, for all we know, Trent Beretta has been getting a whole bunch of ideas shot down and knows a lot more, and they just don't give him any limelight or any. You know what I mean? Like, but
yeah,
out of
but
the
no,
people that have the power, it seems like
it's
that's the
not just. I
case.
don't mean the wrestlers themselves. I mean who actually have their fingers on the pulse, who can actually
And
say,
again,
"Do this,"
Yeah, the
and
people with the
they can do
power.
it.
Clearly, I mean, it's not Triple H. It's not Kevin Dunn. It's not Vince. You know, it's not Stephanie. Like,
Yeah, because none of these guys
and
know exactly what they're doing, and that's the issue here. And
uh
imagine putting these two sort of catalysts together. What do you have?
yeah,
These two
just like
guys,
a super heel group,
yeah, because these
basically.
two guys who are so anti WWE, right? They
That
share a
it's
common bond.
deliciously evil.
Yeah, deliciously. Imagine if they
stable
brought
name.
Brock back as Punk's like enforcer. Imagine having that behind him.
Yeah,
Be
that'd
cool.
be the ultimate Heyman entourage.
Yeah, damn straight.
And as I was gonna say, this feud between Cena and Punk kind of means a lot more because it's more about the prestige of the WWE title, and it's more about the heat between the two guys. Like more
Yeah, it
so,
is.
it seemed more company anti-company oriented, whereas
You just threw something out there that I'm going to touch upon in a second. Finish your point, and then I want to throw something.
There's more truth to it as well. Think
yeah,
about that as
yeah,
well, Brandon. There's more
yeah,
truth to it
like,
because
and the
Cena,
promos I think have been better this time around than last time around, other than Punk shoot. That
yeah,
stands for itself. But in terms of them going face to face, heating up their feud in terms of back and forth promos, I think this one's better because they're both taking shots at each other. Although I'm still with CM Punk, I think he's taking the better shots,
yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying this that
and
naturally,
you
Cena
know,
is the heel in this feud.
yeah,
Naturally,
yeah, he should be, but and yet Punk's the heel. You know, it's like
because
he's the one
Punk,
telling the truth, yet he's the bad guy. Just
yeah, but
like
that's
when he's telling kids not to do drugs, he's the bad guy. So,
yeah, and Jeff Hardy, a known drug addict, is
yeah,
the
yeah,
face,
yeah, you know,
which was great. That shows how versatile Punk is. Punk can make you love him, and Punk can make you despise him. That's how great Punk is. And that's how well this feud has worked. And I test it not just to Cena's. Cena does the usual Cena shoot promo and blah blah blah. I'll call you a poopy head sort of shit. But with
well,
Punk,
he was pretty serious the go home show to Night of Champions, I'll tell
Yeah,
you.
I'm going to kick your
yeah,
That
ass thing.
was pretty big. Like
that was the
telling
same. It's
telling
like
the
the same show
WWE
when
champion to his face that the whole time you've held that title it's been irrelevant. That's kind of a pot shot. That's kind of hitting below the belt. And you could tell in Punk's face that he took offense to it big time, and that builds heat and that builds big time heat between the two of them.
but
And
again, you got to look at who it's putting over though. Is it putting? Did that put the match over, or did that just put Cena over?
I'm thinking it's more just to put Cena over,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but that's my ultimate like sense to say.
but
But
hence
I
that
thought
builds
it
up the
was
frustration a little bit more, doesn't it? It builds up the
yes,
importance of the match.
it did. It made me. pissed off that he said that.
Yeah,
Basically, it pissed me off.
Hmm.
But
it
yeah,
made me
Tony,
want.
you said you're gonna build upon a point that I brought up earlier. What was that? If you
Let me
still remember it.
let me throw this idea out for you guys. Tell me what you think. We've been trying to figure out what WrestleMania is going to be, and there's rumors of a couple different matches, like Triple H against Brock Lesnar, Rock
Hope
against
not happening.
Cena, Rock against Punk, Cena against Undertaker, and all this. It just dawned upon me when you said about Brock and Punk being together. What do you think of this? Brock and Punk at the Royal Rumble time, they do something together. Uh, I'm not like thinking far ahead to exactly what, but you throw Brock Lesnar back, maybe CM Punk does the bodyguard type of thing like that. You have Rock against Punk. Rock beats Punk. Elimination Chamber, they do some kind of an angle where it's like, I need to get this WWE title back. Brock Lesnar's going to help me. We're going to kick some ass and all this. Well, you know what? I'm kind of spitting random shit, but essentially, what popped in my head, I really am hoping that we don't see Brock against Triple H. And one of the reasons because of that is I don't think that we should have Cena against Undertaker and Punk against The Rock. I think that Cena and Undertaker should be next year at WrestleMania 30, and a possible switch here, if they do want to have Triple H come back, not only is he going to want to take something that has a lot of steam, but he's going to want to win. So, knowing that, Brock and Punk fighting together, Triple H comes back. I'm going to try to take you two out of my company. I hate you, Paul Heyman. I hate you, Brock Lesnar. CM Punk, you're an asshole. Uh, Obviously, they are too much for him. So, what does Triple H do? He goes to the person that he's been feuding with for the past few years at WrestleMania, The Undertaker. And you get The Undertaker against Brock Lesnar. You get CM Punk against Triple H. Triple H beats CM Punk. He gets this kind of ego boost, like you know he would do. Undertaker beats Brock Lesnar. Then you get Rock and Cena, and the typical Cena beats The Rock for the championship
Just to
and
get
gets
his win back.
right. And then that way you don't lose CM Punk against somebody like a Sheamus. You could have Sheamus in a normal kind of feud with somebody like a Wade Barrett if he hasn't already. You could have Daniel Bryan challenge for the championship against a heel. Maybe he wins the Royal Rumble and challenges the World Heavyweight Champion, loses because you can't have the baby faces win everything. Do kind of a thing like that. They have had a tendency where the World Heavyweight Champion is the one that challenges the Royal Rumble winner, and that at least one of the championships, usually World Heavyweight Champion, doesn't end up getting switched over. That kind of sounded like me that that's what they're going to do. You throw in the Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara feud if they're not injured. You throw in a multi-man match, something where you could have the the Ted DiBiase's and all that kind of stuff. What do you think?
I think it will work. But my whole issue would be if we not just do that, we could have Brock win the World Heavyweight Championship, bring the belt up a level. Brock's never won that title.
No, he hasn't. That's a very good point. I think the only title he's ever won in the WWE is the WWE title, if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken.
The World Heavyweight Championship, he would elevate that belt. Imagine Lesnar holding that title.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
then
have him F5 Sheamus in 18 seconds.
yeah,
No, I'm just
Yeah.
joking.
But imagine having him against Sheamus. That would legitimize Sheamus.
yeah, there you go.
Because
Possible.
like
Even
that's
even in
someone.
defeat
Yeah, that would make Sheamus a huge underdog, and Sheamus is coming in there,
and
cutting all
putting
these
up a good
promos about.
brawling fight against Brock, even if he
Yeah,
comes up short, at least he took the fight to him. It
yeah, and
looks
he'll be like,
courageous.
I fight the good fight. I never back down from a challenge. And then Brock literally dismantles him like close to the end of the match, hooks him in with that fucking submission hold that he's got, that key lock he has, and bam, Sheamus taps out, or Sheamus just like collapses
I think you're
or
on a
snaps his fucking.
creative gold mine here. I think we've reached something. This is
Yeah,
getting very interesting.
it would
But
elevate. It would elevate the
yes,
championship for
yeah,
Sheamus so much.
it would elevate him even in defeat. That's
Yeah,
an extremely good idea because it makes him look badass. Like, even though I'm completely outmatched, I don't care. I'm fighting you anyway. I have
Yeah,
balls, you know,
and it
basically.
allows
Fella.
Heyman to take
Fella.
control of the WWE. Think about it. He
Yeah, like,
holds
yeah,
the company
Brock is the world
hostage.
heavyweight champion. You got CM Punk is the WWE champion, and Heyman's the representative of both world champions. They
Gimmick
There you
take,
match
go.
at WrestleMania, Stephanie
yeah,
against
yeah,
Heyman.
yeah,
No,
you
but
know.
that way he holds all the cards, so it raises the stakes at Mania.
Hmm.
Like they have to get the titles off these guys, right? I'd rather see Punk go all the way to Mania as a WWE champion, like rather than have The Rock go all the way to Mania as WWE champion, because I don't see The Rock as a full-time commodity. I don't believe that The Rock would do anything to elevate Mania if it's going to be him versus Cena again. If it's Rock versus Punk at Mania and Rock wins the title at Mania, so be it, right? But it would mean so much more on a bigger stage rather than doing it at a Rumble. As for Lesnar, having him win the World Heavyweight Championship, going all the way to Mania and retain, I could see about say 4 or 5 months worth of matches coming out of Brock versus Sheamus. I could see it.
Well, any last thoughts
And
on
now
the
let's
yeah, let's
let's actually talk
we
about
actually
the
didn't even talk
match.
about that. We
Yeah,
went
Definitely the match of the night.
um
definitely.
These two just, I don't know. There's something about Punk and Cena. It's like they were meant to feud, and they were meant to just have amazing chemistry with one another.
yeah, I
Well,
thought
there's
the
so
match was
much at
good.
stake.
I didn't really like the end at first.
I didn't
No,
either. As soon
I
as
thought it
they,
was a Cena victory, and I'm like, oh fuck, shit!
yeah, I
He
was
ended
literally
the
gonna
title
throw
reign.
my
God
laptop on
damn
the
it!
floor.
And
I
then
was,
once the referee told it was a draw, I kind of did the biggest sigh of relief of all time.
Yeah.
I was,
you and me both. It
Punk
gave
keeps
Punk
the title.
that
Come on,
extra
you can make it
bit.
to a year. You can make it to the Royal Rumble. Come on.
Right.
You know, it's funny. We're
It
like,
literally gave him that nice little win there as well, because it was sort of like I've retained, but I haven't won. But
yeah, but
again,
also makes it look like Cena can't beat Punk when when like the stakes are high.
well, they both looked incredibly strong in that match. That's the one thing
Every
that I
match
did like.
they've had, they've looked like
Yeah.
equal. Every match, they kick out of
Yeah,
each other's finishers. They can't keep each other down. But in the end, Cena can't put one over on Punk.
but I
He
like
can,
the little slap in the face that Punk gave Cena as well with the rock bottom.
Yeah, and he's not even necessarily like cheating or anything like that to win where it's like, well, the only reason CM Punk wins the title,
it's because he had his
uh,
foot on the ropes, or he did a low blow, or
right, some other person came out and attacked John Cena, and then he
no,
still kicked out at the three and all that like
no,
bullshit.
no, no. It was, you know, they shoulders were both down for a pin, and as a
Mm.
result of a draw, the champion retains.
Yep.
He's just become this one guy that Cena just he can't get one over on when the big one's on the line. The big one, there we go. And again, anyway, and I find that extremely interesting. I know every time that they have a title match, I'll be on the edge of my seat, super scared that Cena's going to win it back. But I'm loving where they're going with this, and
I
the
don't know
match
where they're gonna go. That's the thing. John
match
Cena's injury.
is
That's
definitely the best match of the night. I think had this match been at SummerSlam, it probably would have raised the stocks of that pay-per-view as well. But it definitely raised the stock of this one, and I thought this card was better than SummerSlam's. It came off better. I thought it was a better show overall.
I
And
think
it did
this
the
is one of the
additional
better
thing.
pay-per-views of the year, along with Extreme Rules.
It did the
Yeah,
one
for
main
sure.
thing as well. It put the WWE Championship back in the spotlight, which
Hmm.
it needed to be.
Okay, that's the first time that Punk has main evented as champion since December, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah, isn't that
That's
ridiculous?
that's insane. I can take the Royal Rumble. I can't take an ambulance match main eventing over a chamber at a pay-per-view called Elimination Chamber.
Right.
That's ridiculous. Rock Cena, yeah, it had to be the co-main event, all things considered. Cena Brock, again, I can give it a pass because that's a big monumental match.
Triple H
And
Brock.
Wasn't there another one in between?
yeah, that's another co-main
Cena
event.
Big Show or something?
Yeah,
Yeah, Big
Cena
Show
Big Show and
Cena.
Cena Laurinaitis. No reason why the WWE title was the co-main event to that. They should have main evented, but especially Punk and Bryan at Over the Limit. That match is fantastic,
Yeah,
and it didn't even main event the show.
that's
So
the
yes,
problem. It's WWE creative like cutting these guys short, and that's one of the biggest things you can say Punk is generally frustrated about They haven't given him a chance to hold his own. They've
It
literally been shoving Cena in the main event all the time.
Yeah, and the people have been telling them otherwise.
Yeah,
Listen to your fucking audience.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how hard is it? I know that they've been on cruise control ever since WCW went out of business, but you still have loyal diehards. Why can't you cater to them?
Mm-hmm.
And whether they want to believe it or not, the level of diehard fans like us outnumber the kids.
yeah.
We're the bigger demographic.
No, but the
You know,
thing is, you could cater to both. All you need to do is sit there and say, right, the general consensus wants this, so let's go with this. Cena's t-shirt sales aren't going to go down the shitter if Cena is turned heel
The
or if
kids are gonna
Cena's a
still like
tweener.
kids are gonna still like him if he's not the main event, and
Exactly.
you know,
Punk
and I'll
needs
touch
to
on
be at the
this.
level
If we're gonna talk
where,
about merchandise sales not going down, change the fucking title design to something better.
yeah,
If you
I
keep selling the
really
spinner, if you keep selling the spinner belt, even with a new title design around, people are still gonna fucking buy it if they like it.
because it's the same with the Brahma Bull belt. That
Yes,
never actually officially made it onto television, but they sold the fucking belt anyway. I bought one.
the smoke and skull belt
mhm.
that sells. You
That
know,
was on
you can
like a that was on TV for what? Like a couple of weeks,
yeah,
and
like
then
you can make it just merchandise and people will still buy it because it's still available. You
yeah,
Right.
don't need it to be the main title design to get people to buy it,
hell,
you
they
know?
still sell the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah, you know
They
what I
still
mean?
sell,
Like,
yeah, they
Mhm.
still
but yeah,
sell their old
fantastic
versions of the tag
match.
titles.
Yeah, they
I would
ruined their
say
opportunity to have a
even
different
with the
title.
finish, it's their second best match against one another.
Yeah, and I will say this right in regards to Cena versus Punk. I don't mind the feud continuing, but I don't see that happening now. Cena's injured. They
Cena's,
need to
yeah,
think of
he's out
a
for at least 6 weeks,
yeah. So
a
the
maximum
the
of
next
8.
positive step, if they're gonna do this, is to put somebody in the main event that they know can work with Punk. For me, the obvious choice would be the Miz.
Turn Miz, but then again, they're probably not gonna have the chance to do that because they need to do the Ryback feud. But
But
uh,
what they can do as well, it needs to be there has to be some way to build this up so that Punk gets his title victory. Punk needs to keep this, the amount of days he's got as champion, that streak, he's got to keep it intact because that helps him sell his heel heat. If they drop that title off of Punk, they're going to destroy every little bit of build that that guy's had.
CM Punk versus Jack Swagger.
What's
Hell in
good
a Cell.
about Cena basically going down right after the pay-per-view and Hell in a Cell being basically at the end of October, they have a lot of time to kind of creatively think who's going to go after Punk and build like kind of a mini feud until Cena gets back. Like they have time to kind of build something up before the pay-per-view. It's not like it's in 2 weeks after Night of Champions and it's at the beginning of October like it was for the last few years. This is the first Hell in a Cell that's going to get a traditional good pay-per-view build.
Right.
Well, the
And I
next
think,
logical choice would have been King, but after the whole heart attack thing, I don't want to see him back in the
No,
ring again.
no, he
well,
Yeah,
shouldn't.
yeah, and like,
but I'm saying the next logical choice would have been, apart from the whole heart attack issue. Now that's happened, I don't want to see him back in the ring ever again.
I,
But
yeah.
if they're gonna do it, they'll have to do it right. They can even build someone like Zack Ryder up if they wanted to.
Well, I was thinking like maybe even Kingston, give him another shot for one pay-per-view, put him in
I
the
would rather
spotlight.
go Ryder over Kingston. That's my opinion.
I'm up for
Because
anybody
Ryder,
for the most part.
Like, any mid-carder who could benefit from
Jack
a
Swagger.
major title match.
Swagger's being repackaged at the moment, so leave him off TV for now. Well, as I
Show
said, Zack Ryder's not doing anything. He's already shown he can prove his own against Cesaro. All you need to do is get him to get a win
and
off
he plays
someone
the
else. And
underdog role well.
yeah, and he's got a lot of heat, a lot of face heat in
Could you
comparison to
imagine
guys
what
like
would
CM Punk.
happen if there was a battle, I know, another battle royal or some sort of number one contenders
Or what you
match
could
where
do
he
is,
actually ended up winning?
yeah,
People go nuts. It'd be
yeah.
like
Remember,
Santino in the Elimination Chamber.
there we go. Remember what happened with Santino at the Elimination Chamber? have something similar. Have Ryder picking up all these victories and then have him go against main eventers and win. Guy like Big Show and win. And then Punk sitting there going, shit, this guy might be a legitimate threat. They did the same thing with Booker T
I'm
back
building up,
in,
and when he was going up against Triple H,
yeah. And there was
yeah,
a
yeah,
whole impossible of it, you can't win, you can't win. And then
wins the
Triple
battle
H,
royal to become #1 contender. Although they fucking buried him in the match, but that's
he
beside the
eliminated
point.
The Rock of all people. Remember?
So yeah, I could definitely see something like that. That's actually a really good idea. Like, it'll be interesting to see who they get to feud
Yeah,
with Punk for the next month.
and we'll
We'll
talk
see
about that next week too,
sidelines.
because
But
I'm
Yeah,
yeah,
because
sure
if they,
next week we won't have a whole
brilliant,
lot.
brilliant, brilliant main event.
Yep,
Absolutely.
good
Uh,
yeah,
pay-per-view.
would it be match of the year contender? It could be. Um, Maybe not up there with some of the better matches we've seen this year, but it's definitely got to be, up there in at least the top 10 of the year so far.
yeah.
But yeah, very good pay-per-view. I enjoyed it from start to finish.
All
Much
I'm
better
saying
than
at
what
the
we've been
moment is we
getting.
need a Cena breather. So Cena, if you can hear me, take that time off,
And
Take
heal
8
relax.
properly.
weeks.
Yeah,
Don't rush your recovery. Wait the entire 8 weeks. Come back when you're healthy.
Right.
You
I'm
know,
sure next week we'll see him in a fucking match.
oh no, no,
this
he'll
is
be
what
on
I'm hoping doesn't
commentary or
happen.
he'll come out in his sling and cut a promo.
Hmm.
I hope he just stays home. you know. But yeah,
Right, that's it
very good
then for
pay.
the pay-per-view talk. The only thing left are the plugs and then the outro. So starting it off, there's Sign Me Up initiative. Same thing as always. Bring a WWE. Not bring a WWE sign. They have enough of that shit. Uh, yeah, bring a WWE sign and then we'll put it on the fucking show. Bring a Smark Out Moment sign to any WWE, TNA, CZW, fucking whatever, any wrestling event. Take a picture of it or video, send it to me, and I'll put it up on the show.
Not CCW because they're shit.
We bring it to CCW, get ready to get like blood on it or something. I don't know, they're fucking crazy. Uh, Hell, bring
Please
it.
don't do it in the middle of a bad promo.
Yeah,
Wear protective glasses so you never know when tube glass is gonna like fly into your eyes as well.
Or someone might have hepatitis.
Yeah, that too. Oof.
so do the
Terrible
sign me up
promotion.
thing and plugs for you guys. Throw them out there.
Okay.
Also, as part of your sign me up, go to www.nerdgenius.com. Put a sign out saying Michael Burhan should be employed by the WWE. Get me work, people.
Bring
Forward
us
this
some.
to your friends and family. Make sure that you basically check out the channel. It's going to be back up live again. It's going to have a new rewrite in the book. All those guys that I didn't finish doing my playthroughs with, you will be compensated. Don't worry. And keep checking out my blogs. And thank you for everybody. My blogs are now over 11,000 views and they keep climbing. So thank you all for doing that. Even when I had my 3 month hiatus, you kept looking at the blog. So thank you. And apart from that, just keep supporting Smark Out Moment, Nerd Genius, and also Brazen's channel, Spood Beast.
Yeah, that of course being my YouTube channel for basically all things gaming, a little bit wrestling, but it's mainly like 99% gaming. That's www.youtube.com/spoodbeast, spelling SPOODBEEST. Yeah, subscribe. It'd be nice, and for everybody watching, tell your friends or other people who are interested in wrestling about the show, because the more viewers, the better, and it kind of makes doing this just that much more like rewarding in the end. When we hear more feedback and all this kind of stuff, it really is a lot of fun to do, and just reaching a bigger audience is always our goal on here. So that would be nice as well.
Yeah, you guys
So.
send us your comments and
Yeah,
everything like that. Let us know what you think. Whether you disagree or you agree with us, let us know. Just don't post all the flaming shit because I tend to remove that.
yeah,
I don't see
yeah.
any value in keeping up a comment where it's "fuck you assholes."
Yeah,
You
like
know what I mean?
constructive criticism's fine, that always works and everything.
Yeah.
And just good plain wrestling discussion is what we're trying to drive here. So any feedback in that sense is always welcome,
And
and
guys,
we'd love to read
remember,
it.
yeah, remember as well, wrestling forums. Take them to wrestling forums. Show people what we're doing. We're going to get the podcast up and running soon so that you can download these episodes on iTunes.
We're also going to
Uh,
try to get a live edition where you guys can maybe call in
Which should
some
be a
kind of
lot of fun.
capacity. Yeah, we're
yeah,
going to try to do a lot of stuff. I got a lot of ideas that I want to do. We're going to try more tournaments. I got at least 15 different types of segments that I want to try to do, whether it's one to watch or it's top rope lists or other tournament ideas like we were talking about, or hell, even something as simple as the rating the superstars under the scoring system. We're gonna try to add different stuff out there, not just do the commentary weekly kind of thing. We maybe do some special episodes here and there, like the best and worst awards that we have coming up at the end of the year, and we're gonna try to do a live show uh, in an actual wrestling ring. We're gonna try to do one with Burhan if he can come to the states. We're gonna throw a lot of this stuff at you. So the more support that you show, the better it is. The more reason we have to do a whole bunch of crazy shit. So
And guys, remember just one other thing for those negative like Nellies out there. That we do have wrestling experience behind us. I myself, I used to be a pro wrestler, believe it or not. Worked for the Frontier Wrestling Alliance. Tony was a wrestling columnist. He interviewed Chris Jericho and Mick Foley. Those are on his YouTube channel. Braden himself, huge wrestling enthusiast. Remember, guys, right? We do have the experience behind our belts, but in the end of the day, it doesn't stop you from critiquing us. If you want to converse and say you're wrong, actually, this is how this would go, do so because that's what it's all about. Drive that discussion.
mhm.
Exactly.
And remember, like we were saying, you guys, if you like us and you want to throw us out there on Facebook, on Twitter, on different kind of
A
forums,
whole like
Yahoo
social
Answers,
networking smorgasbord,
right?
basically. Just throw it all over the place.
The people that
It'd be
do,
much appreciated.
the people that do, like Rockstar, I'm very, very appreciative and all that. So if you guys do it too, I'll appreciate that as well. And that should be it then for episode 47. Episode 50 is coming up soon, almost an entire year of doing this. This has been another Smark Out moment, and we're being counted out. See you next time, everybody.
Outro, outie, outie, outro, outie, outie, yee, outro, outie, outie, outro, outie, outie, yee, aura, 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 aura.
Primetime Players by Braden Mayhew.
Billions of dollars, baby.
Millions of dollars, millions of dollars.